Alright guys, in the last video we tore out the floors in this old farmhouse and found out how bad it really was. The sill and the rim joists, they was completely gone around the door. The joist was all rotten and the center beam was barely holding the house up. Today we're taking out the center beam, cutting it up, removing it, disposing of it, adding a new center beam, starting the process of trying to level this house up. This is where things get really serious, because if the beam ain't right, ain't none of the rest of it gonna be right. When we bought this old house, we knew the foundation had issues. But when we opened this floor up, we realized that the structure was basically failing. In part one, we cut a 4x4 access hole right in front of the door. Removed all those old rotten joists. I think I had 3 that was left, leaving there to keep things from twisting. Exposed that center beam. Now it's time to rebuild that center beam and get this house back foundationally structural. The center beam is what carries most of the weight from the walls sitting on this floor. And in this old house, it was completely shot. Years of moisture and age. I don't know what happened. At some point, the water got under there and it ate this thing up. The floors, the beam, all of it. Before we could remove this beam, we had to come in there and scab some 2x8s on the wall, on the 2x4 walls, to put our jacks under. This was to give it support, because you never want to remove that beam if you ain't got the wall supported. So we set our jacks up and made us some little posts to go from our jacks up to our scab there on our 2x4 walls, because we want to support this wall and remove things slowly. That way we can get in there and get that beam out. once we got this beam out, once we got the weight of it off, we started removing this beam in sections. You can see we used a chainsaw there to cut it up in small sections to pull this thing out. Some of it come off in chunks. It had a little bit of structure left in it, but most of it just fell off. It was rotten. You know, and that's a bad point to be in this old house. You know, with your beam being rotten, no support, can cause major failure. You know, you got to replace this stuff. And once we found that the center beam was rotting out and it had no strength, that made this job that much worse. And, you know, we got to get in there and we have got to get this done and get some support under here so we can get this house built back to what it was when it was originally built. And that's a lot bigger job than what we ever planned on. But hey, we got this house with a block of land. The house come with a cheaper price. So, you know, we got the room to wiggle here, and that's why we in here doing all this work and getting these floors structurally sound, because, you know, we save money on buying a house, therefore we knew we was going to have to come in and do a lot of work. So we good. Once we got this old beam out, we cleaned the area and cleaned it up and got ready to go back in with our new beam. It's one of the most important steps of this process. You gotta get that beam in there straight and get it lined underneath that structural wall, ported correctly, or your floors will never be right. We measured, checked our heights, and started setting this new beam in place. We took a couple 2x12 sandwiched them together and made us a beam. We went with a long length that would expand the whole length of this room. That way we had no cuts or staggered joints. So it was a little bit of a task to get these longer beams in here, but we was able to bring them in, slide them through one end of the house, then go back underneath the house and come back in and get it placed. We used our jacks to slowly lift the beam and get it set on our foundation blocks. That way, you know, give it the support that we needed. We'll come in there and we're gonna add a little extra blockage underneath other areas of this beam to even give it more support. We ain't trying to get it perfect on this first go, because I still got another room over here to redo, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to tear that floor out and put joists in it also. But we're going to get it in there, and we're going to get it pretty much set in place and do a little jacking on it and see where we can get. We have our laser levels set up, shooting our laser across there. That way we can get our walls and our floor back level. You know, we'll measure from one end up to our laser line, one on the other end up to our laser line, and jack slowly. That way we don't shift anything or move anything. You know, we just want the house to come up slowly. You know, we get it back where we want it, then, you know, we'll do our final blocking and everything then. But I think I want to go ahead and get our joists and everything in on the main living room part there, and on that little small bedroom before I do my final jacking. That way I keep that beam from twisting. You don't want it to kick at the bottom. You know, you want it to stay straight. And without those new joists in there, I ain't gonna be able to keep it straight when I'm jacking on it. It's gonna have a tendency to want to pull or move one way or the other. So once we get these joists in here, and I'm gonna put some joist hangers on it also for extra support, not only just toe nailing them in, I'm gonna put some joist hangers on there. That way I know that they're set tight, straight. That way when I go to jacking this thing all the way up, because I got to go close to 2 inches. It's like 1 3/4 inch, 1 7/8, something like that. I got to go there on that end to get this thing level. As we started jacking this beam and lifting on it, I could see the gap in the doors moving and changing. But I kept it slow, didn't get in too big a hurry. You know, I want to get all these joists back in before I do my final leveling. We checked in multiple areas across the floor, you know, and jacked real slow. Used our jacks to move a little bit at a time, not getting in a hurry. You don't want to go too fast. You want to lift in small increments. But just even with this beam in here and lifting up a little bit, the difference was huge. You know, now it don't feel like a soft, mushy floor. You know, it's going to be structurally sound, and you can go in there and jump on it when we get done, and you'll feel that it's structural. Shoot, with that beam set and this wall finally stabilized, we started prepping for the new floor joist. Means laying out our spacings. We went 16 on centers, checking our measurements, make sure everything lined up with our new center beam and our rim joists. This part might not look too exciting, but this is the difference between it lasting 5 years or another 50 years. And of course, we're shooting for another 50 years. Every joist needs to land exactly where it needs to be. That way you don't have no squeaking, sagging, none of that stuff. You know, we want it precise. So we're gonna get in here and start putting these joists in. In the next video, we're gonna start installing our new joists. You're gonna see us bring them in, cut them, lay them out, put them in, attach them to this new center beam. I'm loving this new center beam, guys. Rebuilding this floor from scratch. It's gonna be new. And that's where this house is gonna really start looking like a house again and not some farmhouse that a bomb went off in. We gotta get this thing moving. If you like real house repairs and renovations, farm life projects, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like our videos, and stay tuned in for our next videos, because we're gonna keep working at this and putting out videos showing step by step as we go through this process. And I thank y'all for watching. We appreciate it. And if you have comments, leave them in the comments box below, and we'll check them out. And if you see what we could improve on doing, or see a different way to do it, you know, drop us a line and tell us what you see and how you feel about what we're doing, and we'll be sure to get back with you. And also, if you like this content, we have another channel where we work on the farm and feed our horses and cut hay and do all that kind of stuff. But anyway, check out that channel. It's T&H Farm Life. Yeah, this one's T&H Farm. That's T&H Farm Life. So be sure and like it also, and subscribe on it, because we do a lot of different stuff over there. That's more of the farming life, and we do videos over there. But anyway, appreciate y'all watching again, and as always, God bless.